Ready whenever you are. Anybody want to go first particularly? How did you guys do it last time? Did you do like all of you, like you all talked about Rebecca's paper or?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did. I'll admit I haven't had a chance to read everybody else's quite yet. I can read them as we're talking, and I could catch up.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Well, I guess then, so you can kind of read as we're going. We can start with you, Rebecca. Does that matter?
That sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't hear anything you just said. I just figured I've not ever done this on my phone before, so I'm sorry. I just got the audio.
You couldn't hear you for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start with Rebecca about her paper.
Okay. I'll go. You me go first?
Yeah, I'm pulling mine up, so you can go ahead and go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. I like the way that you use the teacher working condition survey, like the support, to go with your community setting. I like the way you put that in there. How you use that in your paper from that part.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was appropriate. I kind of thought that was appropriate right there. But.
Yeah, I thought that was good. That was good right there.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about using the working condition survey.
Let's see. And then, like, under the figures, do you need like a title under your figures, or can you just put figure 1? I didn't know what the format was for that. I just circled that, and I didn't know if that was correct.
Oh, I wondered about that too, so I hadn't put anything yet, but I couldn't. I think it might help.
I think for APA you have to title them, like, or you have to have a blurb, like what they're about.
Yeah. It's got a sentence, I think, with the picture that'll show something, maybe.
Does it?
Yeah.
You said in your paragraph, you said the following figure 1 is the chart showing the numbers, but I think you need to put that by your figure 1 below it.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. I'll do that.
And then let's see. Is that Richard DeFore? Is that from the Collinson, Cook, and Conley?
It is.
Okay, all right. I think I had that question on your last one because you quoted him, but it didn't have. I didn't know where he came from. Maybe that needs clarifying a little bit.
I might not have put it in the. Did I not put it in the? May not have put it in there.
Well, you did at the end, but I think it. Well, you said contributing to Richard DeFore stresses, and then you quote it, but then you put the Collinson after that. I don't think you did on the last one. I think you just put Richard. You just quoted his name. But anything else after that? Let's see. So I just had a question about the school setting and the school environment. How you?
That's where I didn't know which one to call what. I even went back and changed the title for that because I thought, this sounds more like the school setting than more like the environment than the setting to me.
An idea is, I don't know if, I guess all school improvement plans have to have it, but mine had like school profile, student achievement, school climate, and environment. Like it had a write-up for all of that. Like I used a bunch of that data in my picture.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's all school improvement plans have it. I would think if they all have to be the same.
I don't think mine said that anywhere on it.
Mine was like at the top of mine before it put our goals in there.
Okay.
So I don't
And I
know.
didn't get to see yours, Brooke, yet. I left, and that's why I didn't make it quite home yet before.
I didn't post it yet. I'm going to finish
Okay.
it and then I'll post it.
Okay. Well, that's all I had was just those couple things. It looks like you're off to a good start. But I think that you're like that chart maybe could go in the student diversity section, maybe, I guess, because you got a school profile, and then I don't know how it. I don't know.
Yeah.
What did you
I know
think?
what you're saying. That's where I was confused. I didn't know where to really put all that at. It confused me.
Because it sort of goes together. In some places you need it, but then you don't want to say it again in another section. So
Yeah.
that's what I had. It looks like you're off to a good start, though.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Oh, go ahead, Brooke.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. What I had was I noticed in your school profile thing, one of them is I think that you have an extra space after figure 1. This is like weird stuff that I noticed. And then low income is hyphenated.
Oh, and it shouldn't be.
No, it should be, right?
Okay. Okay.
That's what my computer's showing. I thought it was anyways.
Okay.
And then receive is spelled wrong right beside of it.
I don't know how to spell it. And I'm how old now? I still don't know how to spell that. Okay, I'll fix that.
Yeah, and then I wrote these on your thing too, and I'll post them. Our new word like shows all that kind of stuff, so it's easy to pick it out. I did wonder about, like Kylie said, about your figures that they weren't cited as far as like APA. Just I know you put like figure 1 and figure 2 and figure 3, but maybe put a blurb about what it is, I guess.
So where it came from,
Yeah, like where it came from. I really liked how you used it from the working conditions survey and from the START class. I had never looked at START class, but I did actually use it in mine.
Oh.
And then I think your font is off. I think it's supposed to be New Times Roman or Times New Roman, whatever it is. I think it's something different. But doesn't it all have to be Times?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just change that. But I thought you were off to a really good start. Yours, I liked reading it. It was helpful for me to see where this was supposed to go. Because I feel like all of this is so repetitive, and I feel like I don't want to write the same thing, but it's kind of the same thing that we've done in other papers. So that's what I was struggling with. I didn't want it to be the same thing I've already written, but
But it helps.
it does help. Yeah.
It does.
But that's all I had. Yeah, I think you're off to a good start. Just a couple more things to edit.
So I think you're also off to a great start on your feedback paper, which you'll see in just a little bit. I think you do a good job demonstrating your analysis of your school environment because you start describing the community school setting and you break it down from there. I do like the use of the teacher working conditions to show your school environment. I would also, I put a suggestion about using and getting interviews from the staff and citing observations that you've made in these particular areas. And then on your so one of your areas you were talking about how the community is supporting your school, and that was like a strong strength for you all. I put in there that maybe you could explain like specifics on how your community is supporting your school. I think that would show some more leadership too with you. You might not be involved in it, but you could describe that in your narrative. I noticed, so just something random, the date on your title page, make sure that you edit that.
I did that last time. That's where I took my title page from another paper I wrote and pulled it over.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Thank y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm looking at Kylie's now, and it's looking like I saw down on, I don't know whether it's like the following table shows the data from 2015-2016 school year. For whatever reason, mine highlighted it as being funny, but I don't know why. And then student scores, if it's a plural students, it needs an apostrophe at the end of it. And
Okay.
there's a space between table 1 and the colon. And I like how you're using this. You seem to be spending a lot of good time on like your student achievement already. Or maybe I read it wrong. Hold on. Maybe I read a different one. Yeah. And I like how you're spending more time on that, because that's where I'm struggling with mine, is exactly what all to say with that. So we don't use Terra Nova, but that's interesting that it's, put out through there like that. And the student and staff cultural diversity, where did you get that information from?
What? The numbers?
Yeah.
Just from interviews and observations, and just from, I just know them.
You know, you're definitely know a lot about your school, that's for sure.
Does that need to be? I mean, is that okay? 100% of ours are enrolled somehow. They have some percentage, and they claim that's what they pick as their choice is American Indian. So, but I don't know what the other part is. So that, I guess that would be, that's not in any of my demographics, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe, surely that information could be cited from somewhere. I could see somebody question, which I questioned it, but knowing a whole lot about your school.
Well, who had that about the census or something? Well, no, what was it? Someone looked on something and got their demographics. So I needed.
Yeah. School start. What did I call it?
Class.
Start class has a lot of school it's got a whole listing of school demographics and stuff. And
because I thought about using that in maybe nearby schools just for the area, get some of their data, but hadn't had a chance to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be a good idea to compare those, the data from yours compared to other public schools.
We have some in the county, so I could just get their data and their demographics are there, and it's supposed to be the same. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're good. Looks good to me. And I'm gonna check your date. Is your date right?
I don't know. I do take it from the other two. Just that I have space. I did the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I can say.
Okay, thank you.
So I liked how you made sure because it's different with you being like a private school. I liked how you added in there that it had like the advanced ed and put that in your school setting, because I think that's important for your reader to know.
Right.
And the community setting, I like that. I did notice that some of your acronyms weren't what do you call it, like labeled, I guess, like EBCI. I didn't see where you put that one.
Okay.
And then NKA, of course we know what that is, but just make sure you put it probably by the first part where you wrote it up there. I thought yours looked really good. I liked the Terra Nova stuff. I wish we had something that I could use like results from that. And then I liked how you used your school improvement committee in there to talk about it. Oh, that was really good.
How are you distinguish? Like schools, I know it's not the same, but like I think I don't know.
Like the difference between
Are
setting
you
and
labeling
environment?
all of them like school setting, community setting, school environment, student achievement, student and culture? I mean, are you doing all of those?
I didn't.
Okay.
I put, let's see. I'll look at mine. I did like demographics, like school profile, and then I did school climate and academic achievement.
Okay.
And I liked your staff cultural diversity because that's something I don't have information. I don't know where I would get that information.
But I just have 15, so it's easy for me to go and CDAG. But I know that would be difficult for you guys. You guys have a lot bigger staff than I do.
Yeah, I liked how you put that in there though. That's good. I think you're off to a good start though. Good job.
Thank you.
Yes, Callie, I really liked reading yours. It really helped me when I was trying to see areas that I could improve on and continue writing since mine's not finished. But definitely a great start in analyzing the environment, and it's very simply broken down. I really liked how in your narrative you provided the data and you explained the results from your survey that you created. Also, I know some of that came from your interviews and your observations. I don't know if like you took those observations or interview notes on paper, but I know like Dale Lamb, I emailed him about this task since I was struggling with like how to get this information, and he said if you had like a picture of your notes that you took during those observations or interviews, you could use that for some evidence.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
I think, I can't remember. I know we've gone over so many papers of each other's already, but I don't know which one it was, but there was one where you went into like specific details about how the community or the leadership, like it's not the school people, it's like this outside group that influences and does stuff for your academy or your school. I think like copying and pasting that paragraph, whatever paper it was from, into this as well, that would really show the community involvement.
Okay.
The atmosphere there. Let's see. Also, the acronym EBCI, I think it was already said, just explaining what that is, and the NCDNPE.
Okay.
I think you explained it in other papers, but I'm not sure if it will carry over into the CAAP or whatever it is.
Okay. Good.
And then I just had a question. So the data on the Terra Nova, so I know that's your data collection on the students, but how does it impact your students other than that?
What do you mean? Just for revision of goals for the teacher? That's how we did our improvement plan, is look at those test scores, and they drive instruction.
Okay, and so like if a student is way below grade level, does that impact them moving on to the next grade?
Yes, and then it decides about interventions and things like that, which we do STAR assessments and different assessments through the year too, but we don't get those until the summer.
Okay.
They're not immediately given to us. I don't get them back till the end of July, so I've not really had a chance to compile this new data. I had the 2015-16 done, and I'm just like, I can't put it together right now because I'm the one that does that. So I needed to put that in my paper, but I just used the old data. But yeah, it drives instructions, so I need to put that in there.
Okay.
And modifications and things like that.
Great. That was all I had. I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
We want to talk about Michela's now?
Sure, go ahead.
Here again, maybe where you got your information from for the ethnic composition of your county and the majority of your population, like that it's a growing Hispanic population, and where, you know, make sure you say where you got that from. And let's see. So I like how you're bringing out how that your principal is taking stuff that he's getting from PLCs, and each year he's adding something new to it. So I mean, you know, yours is looking like, I know you said on the message on Gardner Webb's on Blackboard that you would like help getting started with it and everything, and you look like you're starting out well. You know, you're titling your sections and all that stuff. So, you know, I assume that you're probably going to go and for your student achievement, look at testing results and EVOS data, maybe, if that's what y'all use. And, you know, that's what it looks like to me, that you're heading in the right direction. And your date's right. So it looks good to me. It looks like you're going in the right way.
Go ahead, Brooke.
Yeah, I hadn't had a chance to look at yours until right now, but it looks like you're on the right track as far as your school setting and the environment. I like reading how you did your environment, because I do think, I mean, that one was kind of harder to do than the others. But it looks good. It looks like you keep going and you're on the right track.
Yeah, I thought so too. I like that. I had a star by that too. The school environment, how you're using the administration and showing how that works. I also liked how you put the percentage of teachers with advanced degrees, the national board. I like that information there. And then I just had a question about, like, would you want to put that it's like you start at Siler City and then you talk about Chatham County? I don't know if you want to say that Siler City is located in Chatham County, then you can go back to, I don't know. It was just, I knew that it's in there, but I didn't know if you needed to put that it's located in at the beginning. Maybe, I don't know. But the and then I'm just thinking, should we, like with your ethnic composition, should we use that to make a chart? Because I need to do the same thing. That's how I label mine too. Would that help if we just make charts out of everything, or is that, you know, I don't know. It's too much. I don't know.
Is there an easy chart maker that you use?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
I don't have one. No, I just do it on Excel.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if should we do that, because I lace mine out too, but I don't have a chart. So should we make one? I just don't know. Would that help?
It helps me out because I'm very visual, and you know, I like to have hello dog. I like to have like charts and things and colors and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just gives evidence if you put it in a chart too, like
Okay.
showing more so than reading.
Okay. Because they might even notice that part and then just read. You can see that there's a difference.
I'm more drawn to charts. I look at them more than.
Okay. Okay. But I think you're off to a good start too. I think it's just all us getting them finished. But you always write well and you do a good job. So I think we just got to get it finished.
What are your other, I just want to make sure I have all the areas. What are your other subheadings that you all have or are going to add if you're adding anything?
I just took the syllabus and I listed them all out, but then I started overlapping and I already mentioned them in some places. So, I don't know. I'm trying to use all of them, but I as many as I can, because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, really 5.
Yeah. And on the cultural diversity thing, it says it includes exceptionalities, race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, and all that. So I was just going to include those things in to my staff cultural diversity and student cultural diversity thing part.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have 5 headings or so.
That's how many I ended up with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll post mine, and you guys will just do the feedback template. I guess we're just posting them to our discussion board now, or do we need to post them to both? Because I saw some of you posted them to both.
I just did the group discussion. I don't know.
That's what I did too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought I had picked. I thought I submitted those last week, and then everybody. Then I looked back and was like, "Oh, it must have been when my power was flickering." So, but that's on there now.
Yeah.
I was just gonna do it to the group.
Yeah, I've sent mine to the group, but the other one, like on our discussion board where it says where we respond to those things that she posts, there's also a spot there, but
I didn't see that.
some people like Poindexter and different ones are posting theirs there too, but not a whole lot of people. Most people look like they're putting them on their group probably.
I guess it's just different because it's not for a grade this time, so it's like, you don't really have to submit it. I guess just your clinical coach has to check it off.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get? I got an email from her saying I needed to elaborate more on my discussion boards, like the whatever one about the Addy or whatever.
Yeah.
She's emailed me and said I need to elaborate more. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. I guess because that's the only grade. Okay, well, I'll get this uploaded and sent to you guys in just a little bit.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
Have a good afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.